place where you can go, where there's no one to tell you yes or no. If you just look into your heart, you will find there. That's the place to start. If you take a step and take another again, you'll find a better place to land. I know that it can be there someday. You've been waiting for. I know this life can be that one life you've been dreaming of. Today can be the someday. Today can be the one day. Today can be the someday you've been dreaming of. Today could be the someday. Today could be the one day. Today could be the someday you've been dreaming of. Oh, 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 oh. Today could be the day. Oh, 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 today could be the day.
4.
Every time she hits her stride
Here I come.
and is ready to chase it again. Every time we hear the bell and know a child is cancer-free. Every time his heart beats stronger and he scores the winning goal. With more than 35 pediatric subspecialties, East Tennessee Children's Hospital is here every time it matters most.
It's time for Wake Up with Witcher. Here's meteorologist Mike Witcher from the East Tennessee Weather Center.
TGIF, my friends. Happy Friday. We finally made it to Friday, and today is the day that our storm system moves on in. That's going to bring us rounds of rainfall. Now, there are some small changes to the forecast. It looks like we may not see as much rain as we've been talking about all week long, but still looking at the potential of 1 to 2 plus inches. So I'm going to walk you through all those weather details coming up here throughout Wake Up with Witcher. So grab yourself a cup of coffee this morning, kick back, relax, and let's... tastes pretty good this morning. Let's get going here this morning because we have a lot to talk about, and I know a lot of folks need to hit the road. First things first, we'll start you off with that live view from KMNV, Monroe County Airport. The clouds have moved on in. We are starting to see some rain showers settle their way into the area, but I want to start you off with traffic here this morning. As we take a look at that, we'll dive in. No major issues. We're starting to get that backup right there on 640 and Western Avenue, your classic locations, but we'll just come through Central Knox County, and we'll take you to West Hills and Interstate 40, and traffic is running much better this morning than what we were yesterday morning. All right, here are your weather headlines for the day today. The rain does begin. Basically, round number 1 comes through between about 10 o'clock in the morning. So here over the next several hours, it's already starting to work its way in, and I'll take you right to radar here in just a second. But through about 4 o'clock, some of the kids are going to be wet here. Then we may get a little bit of a lull. Now, I do think that the mountain counties will probably stick with the rain for a good chunk of the day. But basically, between 10 and 4, we'll have the rain showers. Then round number 2 comes through after about 10 o'clock or later on tonight after sundown and lasts through about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then round number 3, potentially a thin line of some thunderstorms as the cold front comes through tomorrow, anytime after about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And don't forget to download the East Tennessee Weather app. You can either scan that QR code right there or go to your app store and search East Tennessee Weather. Remember, I'm on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, and of course, all social media here this morning. We've got several folks joining us from Instagram here this morning. So let me just show you the big picture nature of this system and how it winds up and swings through. Cold front number 1 comes through, then a warm front comes through, and then another low pressure system and a cold front. It's really tomorrow as the low pressure comes on in that we have a little bit more instability. The low pressure is right around us. That creates a little spin in the atmosphere, plus a cranking low-level jet stream that's going to help to produce maybe some isolated thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. Back behind it, we'll see clearing skies, high pressure, but chilly high pressure. We're back down to those seasonal averages. All right, so let's get to work. The see if I can get the words out here. The Weather Prediction Center, that's the word I'm thinking of, has issued, it's still hanging on to a level 1, level 2 risk for some localized flooding and flash flooding concerns, although I'm not too terribly concerned about that. That's for the day today and tonight. And then tomorrow, it shifts its way off to the mountain counties. But again, not expecting any major flooding or flash flooding concerns. Severe weather outlook. They have now taken us out of the outlook, which was not the case earlier this morning. The Storm Prediction Center has now taken us out of the level 1 risk for the day today, and still hanging on to the level 1 risk for the day tomorrow as the front comes through. That's that thin line of some showers and thunderstorms that may develop along the leading edge of the cold front. Rainfall totals. We've been talking about the potential of 2 to 3 inches. It's kind of been coming down a little bit. A lot of the latest model guidance has shifted the rain, the bullseye for rain, down into northern Georgia, South Carolina. So still looking at the potential of 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. But that's not drought-busting rain. That is not going to get rid of the drought. That did expand yesterday, and I forgot to post that. Sorry about that. But we do have that flood watch. I don't know why. Still haven't fixed that. Sorry about that. Through Saturday afternoon for Fentress and Cumberland County, stretching back in the middle Tennessee. The National Weather Service, remember we talked about this yesterday, was probably holding off on the flood watch, and there's probably a good potential that they're not going to issue a flood watch for all of us. So I've dropped the damaging wind threat down to a low category. That is actually for Saturday. Okay, so the potential for some strong gusty winds is for tomorrow. We're not looking at any tornado or hail potential, and the flooding and flash flooding concern is on the low side. Localized in nature, low-lying areas, some of those more flood-prone areas. If you continue to get more of a convective storm or some of the heavier downpours, it just kind of sits there for a little bit, you may have a potential. So let's pick up our timeline this morning on our Futurecast model. Here comes the rain showers. They're going to start to enter the area from now through 10 o'clock. From 10 to noon, lunchtime today, it's going to be a pretty good soaker for some of us. Not all of us, though. It's not like everybody in East Tennessee is going to be encompassed by the heavier rainfall by noon. But just keep in mind, the Central Valley will be seeing some good solid showers. Then through 3 o'clock today, the heaviest rain is going to shift across the mountain counties. So we'll have drier conditions up towards Scott County, Fentress, Campbell, Cumberland, Morgan County, maybe Claiborne, and even Union County, even parts of Knox County, as most of it shifts off to the mountain counties. So I do think that the mountain counties will likely be in the thick of it for most of this event. Because as we get into the 7 o'clock hour, here comes our next little round of rain. It's going to start to work its way on in. Now, just through 7 o'clock here tonight, we're likely to pick up anywhere from a half an inch to maybe over an inch of rain. So we're still looking at some beneficial rain throughout the day today. It is going to be a soggy one for sure. High temperatures this afternoon, despite the rain. I have dropped the heights just a little bit. I was going 68 degrees yesterday. I dropped it down to 65. I think we'll be in the low to mid 60s. That may even still be a little bit too warm based on the rain, but it is a warm process. The rain is a warm rain. So I am still anticipating temperatures at least in the upper 50s to low 60s throughout the day. All right, here's round number 2 coming through after sundown tonight. Here comes another big old batch of rain as that low pressure starts to swing its way from south to north. So it's going to be a soggy start to our Saturday. Heavier rainfall likely to be with us through about 9 to, say, 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And then the cold front comes through during the afternoon. This model's not picking up on a lot. There was a high-resolution model that was picking up on a very thin line of some showers and thunderstorms that will come through tomorrow. We have a little bit of instability. We just don't have a lot of instability in the atmosphere, so I do think that we'll see some thunderstorms tomorrow if those storms form along the leading edge of the front. Again, to recap the rainfall amounts, we're still looking at 1 to pockets of 2, maybe close to 3 in some locations, but I think the general rule of thumb is basically 1 to 2 inches of rain. All right, which, of course, is going to help the drought. Now, notice there are some changes from yesterday's drought, or the day before, anyways, last week's drought to this week's drought. The severe drought has crept up into Loudoun County, Blount, and parts of Sevier County. The abnormally dry conditions has now been taken over by a moderate drought in most locations. So there is a drought that is ongoing here around town. Again, beneficial rain. We may see some small improvements by next week, but based on some of the latest guidance, maybe not a ton of improvements. Then as we look at your 7-day, average high is 48. So we're going to be in the 60s today and tomorrow. More seasonal weather Sunday all into next week. But notice Wednesday, Thursday, there's another cold front on the way. And remember I've been talking about all week long how after we get through today's or tomorrow's cold front, we're going to set up shop with a northwesterly flow. And that is going to keep these disturbances coming in out of Canada. Well, our next one will be Wednesday. So let me show you what that looks like. This is just a quick preview. Of course, we got to get through today and tomorrow's rain event first. But here comes our next little thing. We'll pick up our timeline next Tuesday. on January 13th and watch this trough start to dig its way out of Canada. And if this takes shape, this will drop our temperatures and possibly bring us a bout of some snow showers for you snow lovers out there. So you're saying there's a chance. Watch what you see on social media. People are already posting the fact that East Tennessee could get some heavy snow. This is just a model guidance. I've got the National Weather Service blend of models. I have all the models in there from the American model to the high resolution NAMS. But the general idea is, yes, maybe there's a chance as that next disturbance swings its way through by next week. So we'll see how that all plays out. Of course, first things first, we got to get through this rain event. And I really just don't anticipate a ton of activity. Oh, there's a flood watch. Oh no, it's a flood watch. Just kind of reemphasize. I don't know how you are in your family, but when we reemphasize something, we say the word twice. I'm trying to think of an example here off the top of my head. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but that's what we do in our family. Anyways. All right, let's see if you have any questions here this morning before we move right along. With your weather watchers on duty for the incoming weather, you could probably stand down. I just don't think it's going to be all that impressive. But it is Friday, and if you have dinner plans here tonight or if you have outdoor plans tomorrow, listen, it's going to be a rainy one for sure. Good morning, Kathy. How are you this morning? If you want to join the exclusive group of Witcher Weather Watchers, you can help during inclement weather by reporting from your area. What are we pushing now, Julie? I think we're at 50, 52 Witcher Weather Watchers. If you're interested, by the way, you can join on the broadcast. You can submit reports. We have a private chat group, but you got to become part of the Skywarn Storm Spotter program with the National Weather Service. Just email me, mike@easttnweather.com. I'll send you a private link. But there's going to be a wealth. Remember, I told you I have a new website coming in. There is going to be a whole page dedicated to Witcher Weather Watchers on who we are, what our goal is, and how you can actually take the course and then submit that certificate to me. So once the new website comes out, I will be debuting all that and showing you all the cool new things that are coming to the easttnweather.com. Grab the flippers and the scuba gear. Well, that's kind of the way I was thinking at the beginning of the week, but I don't necessarily know that that's going to take place. So we went from 4 inches of rain to 1.5. Never were at 4. We were basically, I was saying for most of the week, 1 to 3, maybe 2 to 3. But yeah, some of the latest guidance is shifting. It's a little bit further south, and that's why it's important to check in every day. And of course, you can do so easily with that East Tennessee weather app. Tornadoes are we expecting any tornadoes? No tornadoes, no hail, some strong gusty winds. If we tap into the upper level winds with those thunderstorms tomorrow, no severe weather threat throughout the day today, just ongoing much needed rain. Can we go to bed? I was just talking to somebody about that the other day. They were like, I love that you call out counties and cities to be able to go to bed during severe weather. And remember, we're going to be getting some t-shirts made for that for the spring season, by the way. Smoked pickle barbecue for lunch today. Is that where you're going? You should definitely check out the smoked pickle over there off of Ebenezer. It's a great barbecue. Good morning, Janelle. Janelle's on here. What's up, Janelle? What's up, babe? She's off on her way to work. Let's see. Thank you for the warning about all the fake weather on social media. It was so confusing for the longest time. It is very confusing. And that's why I say just come to a trusted source. If I'm your source for weather, A, I appreciate you very, very much. B, just like and share what I do. I'm very conservative with my forecasting. I'm not going to throw a lot of stuff out there. I probably won't even throw this out there on social media until maybe Sunday or Monday as I get more model guidance in, because it's just not really worth it. Sure, does it get me clicks and likes and shares? Yes. Is that what I'm all about? Absolutely, positively not. I'm all about helping our community stay safe and informed. And speaking of which, probably a good time to share this with you. If you are a small business, see if I can find this here real quick. I don't know if I'm going to. Yeah, I am. All right. So if you're a small business, by the way, listen, I live here. We're local all the time, and I'm building local. That is my goal, right? That's been my goal from day one. So if you are interested, if you're a business, a small business, let me help you out as we can reach thousands, if not millions. Listen, Just on Facebook alone, I've reached over 60 million people this year. In 2025 anyways. I've got 55,000 app downloads. I get about 55 million touches on my app every single month. So people are coming to East Tennessee Weather for a trusted source of weather. And if you are a small business, you can email me, mike@easttnweather.com, and we can have a discussion about how we can help highlight your business. All right, let's move right along. Get some of that clerical stuff out of the way. Put you down for a t-shirt. Well, these are special t-shirts, by the way, for Witcher weather watchers, but definitely coming to a body near you. I don't know. Anyways, let's check in on some of those sunrises here this morning, and then we'll check in on the radar too, because I want to show you the radar here. This is a live look in downtown Clinton, Anderson County this morning. And again, overcast, gray. We don't really have a whole lot of rainfall so far around the area, but and the National Weather Service radar is down, by the way, but let's see if I can't get that for you. Here's what it looks like on the radar here this morning. So we've got a couple of showers already starting to work their way into Cumberland, Fentress, into Scott and Morgan County, starting to stretch its way up towards, Campbell and Claiborne County. This is the radar out of Nashville. The Morristown's radar still seems to be down. They've had to order a piece and have been waiting for that piece to come on in. But you can still get all the information with the East Tennessee Weather app. And actually, before we go to those national holidays, for those of you that are interested in learning a little bit more, let me just share the East Tennessee Weather app here with you for just a second. So if you go to the App Store and search East Tennessee Weather, you can download the app. It's 100% free. You'll never have in-app purchases. That doesn't exist. And again, we sponsor our local advertisers here on the app itself, which is the premium spot. But you can check in on Witcher's 1 minute weather, the full forecast that gives you more detail. Witcher's 1 minute weather, just 1 minute, right? So I can't get all the information out all the time, but if you want to check in on that full forecast every once in a while, they give you a more detailed information. But click on the interactive radar, because the interactive radar is great. Because, let's see if I can get that off there. Boop. Let's come here. There's our cold front. If you push play, it's going to give you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. So there's your past 2 hours, there's your current hour, and there's a future cast of 2 hours to really help you time things out during a rain event like that we're getting ready to see, or during inclement weather or severe weather, or in the summertime when we just have those pop-up showers and thunderstorms. It's a wealth of weather information. And if you expand the view, you can see how that cold front's going to be sliding on through. So I'll push play again. The app works anywhere in the country, by the way. So as long as you have GPS location services turned on and notifications turned on, you will be notified of any inclement weather in the United States. All right, I digress. Now we can move on to those national holidays. It is January 9th, so we're celebrating, of course, birthdays and events today. Any birthdays and events, let us know what's going on. You're waiting for your coffee and logged on right after the moment that he says, that's what my family does. Do you remember what word we use, babe? I can't remember what, when we're like, I don't know. I can't remember. And why are you buying coffee out? We have coffee at home. Just checking in on my wife. All right, so today is National Balloon Ascension Day. Have you ever been in a hot air balloon? I don't think, even though I fly, I can get on ski lifts, I'm deathly afraid of heights. Being in a hot air balloon is like the scariest thing in the world. I've been up with the youngest hot air balloon pilot. This was back in 2001, 2002 timeframe at my first TV station. He lived in Grand Junction, Colorado, which is where my first TV station was. We were tethered, but I went up with a camera and we did an interview with him way up in the sky, about 100, 200 feet up in the sky. But anyways, just wondering if you've been in a hot air balloon. And we have a great hot air balloon festival every single, I believe it's fall, down in Townsend, I believe. I'd have to double check on that. All right, today is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. We appreciate you, law enforcement, every single day. Of course, I have a little bit more of a special appreciation for you. A, I've got a lot of friends that are in law enforcement. B, and it is a crazy, hard, scary job for sure. But B, during inclement weather, they are extremely busy. Then when I talk to kids, that's one thing we talk about is that, law enforcement, police, paramedics, firefighters, their jobs get a lot busier and a lot more dangerous during inclement weather because they're trying to help people out because there's always more accidents during unfortunately, inclement weather. Today is National Apricot Day. Apricot. You say tomato, I say tomato. I don't know what the word is, but it's an apricot. Apricot. I think I typically say apricot, but now I just said apricot. I don't know. And it's National Static Electricity Day. All right. I can get on board with that. However, due to the influx of moisture moving its way in because our storm system is moving in, static electricity is not going to be very high. However, with that said, next week, static electricity will start to increase as the air dries out. The drier the air is, the more static electricity that you will experience. Did you know that? All right, in 1990, a third storm in 4 days hit the Pacific Northwest. Winds in Oregon gusted to 100 miles per hour and over 8 inches of rainfall. In 1989, strong winds prevailed along the eastern slopes of the Rockies in Colorado. Winds gusted to 113 miles per hour at the Air Force Academy near Colorado Springs and 115 in Boulder, Colorado. Very windy sometimes up in Boulder with those Chinook winds. In 1988, a storm in the northwestern U.S. produced 10 inches of snow in Boston, Mass. In Boston, Mass. With 14 inches in Worcester, Massachusetts. Which I used to travel there every summer. In 1987, a winter storm spread heavy snow from the Central Plains into the Great Lakes. Heavier totals included 9 inches in Sun City, Kansas, and 7 in Columbia, Missouri. In 1976, a lake effect snow squall buried the town of Adams, New York under 68 inches of snow. Goodness gracious, that would be amazing. In 1888, severe cold gripped much of the western U.S. Portland, Oregon, the Columbia River was frozen for 2 weeks. That's insane. And in 1875, the temperature in Cheyenne, Wyoming dipped to an all-time record cold low of 38 degrees below zero. And today's daily quote by Gloria Swanson. She's an American actress, by the way. All creative people should be required to leave California for 3 months every year. Sure, why not? In 1995, Russian cosmonaut Valery Polakov. Yeah, forget about it. Don't worry about me trying to pronounce things. That's why I said I could never be a news anchor. The amount of words I can say rain and cold front. I can't say these names. Completed his 366th day in outer space aboard the Mir space station, breaking the record for the longest continuous time spent in outer space. In 1991, U.S. Secretary of State Baker and Iraqi Foreign Minister Aziz met for 6.5 hours in Geneva, but failed to reach any agreement that would forestall war in the Persian Gulf. I remember that. In 1986, Kodak got out of the instant camera business after 10 years due to a loss in the court battle that claimed that Kodak copyrighted Polaroid. In 1984, Clara Peller was first seen by TV viewers in the Where's the Beef commercial campaign for Wendy's. Do you remember that one? That old lady, where's the beef? Oh, man, that was a classic 80s commercial. In 1937, the first issue of Look magazine went on sale. Within a month, Look became a bi-weekly magazine. In 1929, the Seeing Eye was incorporated in Nashville, Tennessee. The company's purpose was to train dogs to guide the blind. In 1902, New York State introduced a bill to outlaw flirting in public. In 1902, New York State introduced a bill to outlaw flirting in public. How the heck else are you supposed to flirt with somebody to court them eventually, to get married and to have babies and have a family? That's crazy. In 1894, the New England Telephone and Telegraph Company put the first battery-operated switchboard into operation in Lexington, Massachusetts. All right, we'll take it back outside. A live look here at Fox Road Marina this morning. Again, don't forget to download the East Tennessee Weather app and check in with the interactive radar. Give you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. It's going to help you plan your day on a day like today. Oh, my wife's calling me out. You drank all the coffee? There was plenty of coffee in there, honey. But I am working on my second cup. She always gets mad at me, by the way. because we have coffee and we have several coffee machines, for crying out loud. Too many to talk about, really. But then she'll go get a cup of coffee. She's like, "Where's all the coffee?" Like, what am I supposed to do? Just sit there and stare at it? I love you. And it's Melissa's birthday. Happy birthday. Oops, wrong one. Melissa Ward, happy birthday to you. And it's a Friday. Seems like a good day to have a birthday. So maybe, or what are you going to be doing for your birthday? Let us know in the chat if you get a chance before the show is over. Been in a hot air balloon, but it was tethered. Yeah, same with me. Didn't really like it so much. I'll be in a hot air balloon. I will be at the Hot Air Balloon Festival in Townsend. It is in August. Okay, so I was right. Late summer, anyways. Hey, easy, Jessica. Easy. Okay, you don't need me chiming in on the Witcher squirrels. Quarrels, not squirrels. How about quarrels? All right. So let's see. Apparently, there's an accident on 640 here. We'll get to work with in case you have to hit the road here. And where's the beef? Isaiah, you are go to YouTube and look for that one. You're way too young to understand where's the beef. Static is awful, especially every time I touch the car door getting out. Yeah. Or your hair starts to stand up on its end. You hate static electricity. Essentially, it's kind of like what lightning is anyways. You should carry a cup of coffee to your wife first. Well, she's in bed. She does not want me to wake her up to a cup of coffee at 3:30 in the morning. As is, I'm already stealing the dogs and sneaking out of the bedroom every single day, trying to be as quiet as I possibly can. And I did not wake her up this morning. You want to know how I knew that? She was still snoring. Yes, honey, you were snoring this morning. You better watch when you join the chat in the morning. I completely agree. I have to hide pods for Mike, though, so I can get some on my days off. That is true. She does hide the pods. Her family came in during the holidays, or I guess my mom was, and she goes, "Let me give you a couple of my stashes since Mike drank all the coffee." We need some Tennessee history. Yeah, we do. Maybe I should start doing Tennessee history stuff. Matcha is the new thing. It's not good. It's not good. Don't believe anything she says. Matcha's disgusting. If you like to taste dirt, then you can go drink some matcha. Believe it or not, one of my coworkers just showed me that last week. That is funny. That's funny. And there's nothing better than the what is it called? It's got cheddar. Talked about this a while ago, but it's the cheddar melt or whatever, the Arby's cheddar melt or the Arby's melt, cheese melt or whatever it's called. That is so good with horsey sauce and extra Arby's sauce on it. Hey, what's going on after the show? What's going on after the show? I don't know what's going on after the show. Oh, it tastes like grass, not dirt. Sorry about that. I know. I am going to end up at the doghouse either way. Usually I'm in there. No to matcha. Yuck. Yeah, it's gross. I would totally agree with you. All right, let's see if we have any Witcher's pictures here this morning. I'm getting sidetracked with the chat. Let's see if we have any good new Witcher's pictures. Nope, those were all from yesterday. Let's see if I have any to share with you this morning. And nope, no Witcher's pictures to share this morning. So that is what we call in the business a wrap. 1 week from today, Miss Abby Ham from Channel 10 is her last day. 1 week from today. I may be on the broadcast with her to say goodbye. I may not be on the broadcast with her to say goodbye. It's all up to the bosses over at Channel 10. I think they're might not let me over there. I think I'm banned from the building anymore these days. I didn't do anything wrong. I just started my own business called East Tennessee Weather. What's wrong with that? We'll see what happens. But next Friday, if I do get invited, and if I am allowed, we won't be doing Wake Up with Witcher at 7:30 in the morning. We'll see how it all goes out. And I'll keep you posted all this week. All right, kick back, relax, enjoy the day, enjoy the rain. It is moving its way on in as we speak, and the rain's going to be heavy at times, take a little lull in the activity, heavy again tonight, and then some thunderstorms tomorrow as the leading edge comes on through. And then colder weather Sunday, and potentially, maybe a little snow by the middle or latter part of next week. All right, download the East Tennessee Weather app. Track the rain through the interactive radar. It gives you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. And if you have the app yourself and you like it, I would love for you to share it. And I'm on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and YouTube. You can put East Tennessee Weather up on the smart screens. I do run a 24-hour weather channel. And if you're a business, hit me up. Let me know if you put East Tennessee Weather's 24-hour weather channel in your business, your establishment. We'll come out and highlight your business because it's all about small business is what makes our community go round and round. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. Wake up with Witcher tomorrow morning. We'll be live at 8 a.m. I got to sleep in about 30 minutes. Woo! Big deal there, huh? Have a great Friday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Standing up in front of an army, shoes in the mud and the wet paint, twists and turns up the alley, just like it should. So your colors, they start